Hello and welcome to the universe of Beyer watches and jewelry, where the past meets the future. Being the oldest watch retailer in the world, we started in 1760 and are privately owned in the same family in the 8th generation, with René Beyer at the top. We connect people of all kinds of interests due to our fantastic watch museum, our more than 50 years experience with vintage watches, and our modern collection of some of the world's best known brands such as Patek Philippe, Rolex and many others, but also our handmade jewelry. The talk of the show today is one of Omega's most iconic pieces, the Memomatic. In 1848, Louis Brandt founded a small manufacturer to produce parts for watches. After moving to Beyer in 1880, the two sons started to make entire movements. In 1894, the name Omega was used for a special newly developed movement. Later, this gave the whole company its name. For many decades until the 1950s, Beyer was also selling Omega watches. At the same time, we were already selling Rolex. Omega decided not to have these two brands together at one retailer, and back then they left Mr. Beyer with a choice that was not won by Omega. Today, it's part of the Swatch Group. The Memomatic was produced in 4 variants from around 1969 through 1979. An alarm is a feature on a clock or a watch that is quite easy to understand. It was most commonly used when one wishes to be woken up or reminded that a certain time has come up. Before the era of cell phones, alarm clocks were found almost on every nightstand. Wristwatches with alarm were less frequent, but still many brands made them. The Cricket by Vulcan, the Memovox by Jaeger-LeCoultre or the Advisor by Tudor. On those watches, you could only roughly set the alarm through an hour indication. On the Memomatic from Omega, the exact alarm with hour and minute is possible. Each has their own disc that is operated via the upper crown. The disc with a triangle indicates the hour, the inner disc with a double index the minutes. Whereas other alarm watches use 2 barrels for the time and the alarm, the Memomatic gets its power from the same barrel for both. The upper button at 2 o'clock is for the alarm, the lower crown for the time. In between on the side is a hidden pusher to set the date. If both the button and the crown are in position 1, basically in closed position, one can wind the movement. Putting the button in position 2, leaving the crown on 1, the alarm is on. You can turn it off by putting it back to position 1. If you put the button in the 3rd position and leave the crown in position 1, you can set the alarm time. It doesn't matter if you go back or forth. To set the time of the watch, you put the button in first and pull out the crown to the 2nd position. Sounds complicated, but it isn't at all. Interestingly, the alarm is fairly quiet compared to a Memovox. But this was intentionally made this way by Omega, as not to disturb others around you when the alarm goes off. Thus, it was never intended as a wake-up alarm, but a gentle reminder or a memo for an appointment. As I already said, there were few versions of this watch. Ours here has a lovely blue dial with a silvered center. In the middle is the ring with a triangle indicating the hour, and the middle disc shows the minutes with a double index. The central seconds hand is made in blue to distinguish it better from the rest of the functions. The hours are marked by indices. The Omega logo is at 12 o'clock with Omega and C Master written below it. At 6 we can see the word Memomatic. This is a 2-part word created from memo for reminding and matic for automatic. Also quite unusual for this period is that an alarm watch was equipped with an automatic movement. The button-like hands are loomed, as are the hour markers. The stainless steel case is very typical for the 1970s, quite bulky and big, measuring 40 by 44.5 millimeters. The bezel is brushed, the sides and the screwed-down caseback are polished. The metal bracelet has an inner size of 19 centimeters. Inside is the caliber 980, an automatic movement made for only a short period of time from the late 1960s to the mid-1970s. That also corresponds with this watch, as it was born in 1973. The caliber 980 is based on the Lemania 2980. The power reserve is about 48 hours. The watch was serviced at Omega in late 2023 and comes with the extract of the archives. It is an unusual watch, but definitely a looker when you wear it. Moreover, it is a decent reminder of an important meeting with your boss or for a dinner with your wife. Being passionate about watches also means that we take great care of timepieces even after they have been bought. We are an official Rolex service center, but also service the other brands we carry. Apart from that, we also have beautiful jewelry made by our goldsmiths. We have a big assortment of older and more modern pre-loved watches, so please visit our website or Beyer Vintage on Instagram. And thank you so much for watching.